Good morning, everybody. Happy rainy Tuesday in Richmond, Indiana. Jason from Cutting Edge Physical Therapy. I promised you a field trip, and here we are. We're here at Esmond Shoes, downtown Richmond. We're here for part 2 of our video that's related to plantar fasciitis and foot pain. And sorry, we got a little bit of crowd noise behind us. But we're going to go inside and meet with Roger, and we're going to talk a little bit about foot problems. So come on in and follow me.
Morning.
Hi, Roger.
How you doing, Jason?
We're doing great.
Good.
So we're here live with everybody. This is Roger Sieb, who's the owner of Esmond's and has been here for a long time. And we're going to talk just a little bit about Esmond's, and I'll give you a couple of minutes to just share a little bit about with our audience, a little bit about the shoe store and your personal background, and then we'll go into some of the things we want to talk about.
Great. Appreciate it. Yeah, thanks, Jason, for letting us do this. My name's Roger Sieb. We're downtown Richmond, Indiana at Esmond's Shoe Store. Esmond's has been here since 1947. Actually, we're the 3rd generation. Right now we have myself, my wife Lisa, and Julie. We've all been doing this since we were kids. So we grew up in this business, starting with my grandfather from 1950 to 1976. And then my father, he took over. And then around 2000, the kids take it over. So that's what we've been doing. Been doing it for a long time, and we enjoy what we're doing, and glad to help people out get a comfortable pair of shoes.
Awesome. So one of the things that we wanted to come down here and talk about is we started talking about plantar fasciitis, and I told you a lot of things that you might be able to do to help with plantar fasciitis, but really one of the most important things we can do is get a really great shoe wear fit. And that's really what we're here to talk about today. And it's not so much about the brand of shoe that you buy, but it's about the correct brand that fits your feet correctly. And so, Roger, why don't you tell us a little bit about what you look at when someone comes in just to get a good shoe wear fit, and then maybe a little bit about how plantar fasciitis fits into all that.
Right. Well, so somebody comes in here and asks us, how can we help them? Well, we carry the same brands that all the big box stores do. The difference is we carry the brands in 4 or 5 widths, where they might carry 1. So in order to get a good fit to take care of the plantar tendon, you have to make sure the arch is in the right place. That takes a combination of sizes and widths. So that's what we start with. You did a great episode on the stretching. That's a big part of it too. So we have to work all that in as far as heel height, who can go low heel, who can go more drop, things like that. So we just evaluate everybody individual, but it really starts with the brand, the quality of the shoes, and how we can get a good fit with them.
So tell me a little bit about it. When you see people come in, how often are they in the wrong shoe?
Quite a bit.
Okay.
And they really don't realize it, because you get the soft mesh shoes, you put them on, they feel pretty good, so you wear them. They're not really bothering your toes, or you don't think they are until you've worn them quite a bit, but then you start straining that arch. So then once you fit them, once you explain to them, I like to educate them. I mean, just really so that they realize what we're doing, what we're trying to do, buy into this, and then they feel it. Then they put their old shoe back on, say, this is where you've been, this is where you're going, and they really, really understand it.
I'm sure that's pretty helpful.
Yeah. So
tell us a little bit about shoe width here. How often are people need a wider shoe versus a more narrow shoe?
You know, that's just, there's so many different foot shapes. And then you have to deal with insteps, you have the thickness. We always say, you know, you got the length of the foot, you've got the width of the foot, but then you have the thickness of the foot. So, and on a measure, we can get an idea of how that foot's going to fit in the shoe, but we really have to know how the shoe fits. So you take this shoe in an 8B, you're going to need this shoe maybe in a 9. Just the fact that they 2 different brands, 2 different fits, and that's what we have to figure out. And that's what we do. When new shoes come in, we're trying them on. This is going to fit long. This is going to fit short. Okay. So, but I mean, we get a lot of narrow feet, and I think that's the reason, because they can't get narrows anywhere else, and you know, they just don't. I mean, and they know they have a narrow foot, and if you have a narrow foot, you need a narrow shoe.
Sure.
It just really.
So tell me, we have a couple of things here that we wanted
Sure.
to look at today. So just talk to me about one of these two things here that you want to talk about first. What about correct fitting? So we have this really great,
Yeah. This is.
I want to call it a slide,
Yeah,
but
I mean-
poster here that tells us a little bit about fitting here. So why don't you talk about this a little bit?
This is a poster we've used for years and years. We've actually outlived this shoe company, so CT Right. So, but it's great because it shows you the length of the foot from the heel to the toe. They're both the same, but you've got a short arch and you've got a long arch, and this is what's going to happen. You get that long arch foot into a shoe that doesn't fit, and you're going to have this gap right here. You're going to be squeezing your toes. Eventually, that could even cause neuromas in between those toes, and that's a different kind of pain. But you want to get that arch fit nice so that your whole foot's supported evenly. Just distribute that pressure on your arch and not on your heel, not on the ball of your foot. And if you look at this one here too, you can see my big toe's missing, but we really don't use a big toe. We always look at where this ball of the foot fits the shoe, how that little toe has room there, and how that whole arch is supported. And if you go short, this is what happens. Boom, all your weight's down here, and that arch is just flexing and flexing and flexing.
And again, you're going to get that stress on the plantar fascia that we're trying to avoid. So when you see this here, this is a great explanation here. But if that slides forward, you're not in the right shoe, even though we think you have good arch support in the right shoe.
Right.
But if that thing drops down, then we talked about the plantar fascia, how that will stretch out the bottom and again create that same type of pull on the heel, and that's how people get pain.
Right, and some people even, I've heard them say, well, it felt like a little bee sting, or, under there. And that's probably where they just got that little micro tear in there from being stretched. So.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So tell me some other things. We pulled out some orthotic inserts as well.
Right.
So why don't we just take a look at a couple of those different types of inserts that you use on a more regular basis, and for what type of, and this is the importance of coming to a really good shoe store and getting a really good fit, because these guys know what they're doing. I can send you here, but if you don't come, it doesn't help you out. So come and let's look at some of the things that you put in different shoes for different reasons.
Yeah. Well, we use these if somebody comes in and maybe they're really close, but they just need that little extra more arch to them. We really try to get it into the shoe to where you don't need these. We don't want you to become dependent on these. But if it gets you through that initial 3 months or whatever to clear that up, this Birkenstock, it's nice cork, easy, not aggressive, but it gives you that arch support plus the metatarsal to support the metatarsals. So that's one of them. And then if you need a little bit more cushion, say a factory position or you're on your feet a lot, this is a cadence insert, and that'll take you all the way down, give you a little more cushion all the way. So you can take out the insoles.
And you always take out the insoles, right? People come in all the time and they have
on top.
triple things in their shoes.
And they wonder why they're uncomfortable. Well, you're just compressing your whole foot, So you take these out and replace them with this.
Just as a quick show.
Right.
This is the great insole that comes in the awesome New Balance shoe, right? So do you tell me that that's going to actually support your body weight or arch? It's a little bit.
If you get the right size,
Sure.
If you get it fitting with the shoe.
Right, because the key is the shoe here in this piece.
Right.
But this is not necessarily going to be your comfort. But this is what's going to do a little bit more than that. So if we can not get the shoe fit and we need more, this is really great. And I showed you guys the Power Step orthotic. This is pretty much the same product. So they're carrying the same product. And for a very reasonable price, almost exactly that you can get it online. So if you're considering shopping for something like an insert like this, come to see Roger, because his prices are almost exactly what they are online, and we'd rather shop local. So that's a perfect example of that.
And with that being said too, if you are doing it on your own, make sure that arch is in the right spot. If you get these and they're marked by sizes, but say you don't know what your size is, if you don't get these in the right spot, you could still be doing more damage than you are good, and kind of throwing some money away. So you want to make sure these fit right too.
Sure.
Yep.
And we have that other style right there.
And flat feet. This is just something we found 30 years ago, 20 years ago. A flat foot insole where the flat foot comes down, pronates in and the toe's off. You always feel like you're coming off your toe. Well, this insole is actually posted underneath there also.
So you can see the thickness here is much different than, look at the difference between the thickness here versus the thickness through the...
Right, and this is thick here, but then thinner over here. So it's wedged. So instead of that foot coming down and going in, this wedge is going to throw it out. Plus, it doesn't have an aggressive arch. Somebody with a very flat foot comes down and you put a very aggressive arch under there, it's going to feel like they're walking on a rock. So you want there again, we're looking for even pressure to get that foot so that you don't have pressure on the heel, pressure, and pulling that tendon.
So on a scale from 1 to 10, 1 meaning not important at all, 10 meaning extraordinarily important. Someone comes in with plantar foot pain, heel pain, metatarsal pain. How important is shoe wear fit in the overall grand scheme of things?
Yeah, it's got to be up there at 10. I mean, you'll realize a lot of people out there, a lot of kids especially, they don't know what a shoe should feel like. They've not been measured. They don't, they've not tried on a shoe that comes in a narrow, medium, wide, extra wide, So, excuse me. It's very important. Once you get a good shoe that fits, then you know what you should be looking for.
And do me a favor, so for any of you watching, if you have been down to Esmond's, do a little comment, tell them how great they are, because I know the people who come in get great service. So just comment in the little comment section below, or hit your like emoji or wow emoji for us here to let us know that you're out there. And if you have any questions in regards to this with Roger, we can always do any follow-up videos to, if there's a question, hey, I have some problem with my foot, then maybe we can come back and we can talk a little bit more specifically about that. So make sure you comment in the video as well. So just a couple other things here. And what's your hours like right now during obviously the coronavirus thing that's been going on?
Well, we did curbside for a while, but we found out that is not conclusive to getting a good fit. So we did open up, and we're open up from 10 to 2, Monday through Saturday right now. And as people get more interested in coming out and about, we're going to expand those back to normally 9:30 to 6, Monday through Friday, 9:30 to 3 on Saturday. Gotcha. Always closed Sunday.
Okay, great.
Yep.
Is there anything else we forgot about?
No, we appreciate you again. And I'd like to invite you in. If you really don't want to buy a pair of shoes, you just want to learn, stop in. We'll be glad to measure you, glad to try some shoes on you. Show you the difference of what a good shoe could be.
And Jolie, just do a little scan around the room here for people who haven't been in here, because it's a lot bigger than you might expect it to be when you come in. And the vast majority of, they have every shoe that you can possibly imagine here. So just take a look around here, and it gives you an idea of how big the shoe shop is, and very comfortable and wide open. So going to easily be able to practice social distancing here if you need to. And obviously they're taking precautions as well. So we are really thrilled to have been with you all. Again, like and share the video, especially if you know someone who has foot problems or foot pain and really needs a good pair of shoes to be fitted in. Roger's here for you to help. Obviously, you can always call our office. And remember, you can contact us. Always go to cuttingedgept.com. That has all our blogs written on it. You can also go to our Facebook page. So hit the like button on the Facebook page. And we also have a YouTube channel. So if you want to go to YouTube and look up Cutting Edge Physical Therapy, we have all our videos posted there as well. We hope you have a great day and look forward to seeing you in our next video time. Thanks a lot.